Hey YouTube, Shuffle Does here again. Today I will be installing what I purchased off of Amazon, which is a battery connector to a Milwaukee battery, a regulator, which will bring that 18 volt Milwaukee battery down to 12 volts, so it can be ran in Power Wheels I acquired off of Facebook Marketplace, which is this beauty right here. So the process I'm going to show you here with a little voltmeter is taking the reading off of the battery, which as I bought it, it was told it was dead, it doesn't work. Fairly common with these Power Wheels, but it is reading some voltage, just not enough to do anything with. So I used this voltage meter throughout the process with some jumpers that I made. Those are just some wires with some alligator clips on it. But you'll see as I go through this video that I test to make sure that the regulator that has the black and red and then black and yellow actually will reduce the power from 18 volts down to 12. So there you can see that the Milwaukee battery is reading at 18 volts. So let's go ahead and wire up the regulator and see what it does. So the kit I bought off of Amazon a little while ago is now for sale for $21.99, and this is the Milwaukee M18 battery quick connect, and it comes with a regulator that drops 18 volt down to 12 volt 3 amp. And I really liked this kit because it came with the regulator and the connection for my Milwaukee batteries. You can buy these separately, but I wanted to try this out, and if it works well, maybe hook it up to a Makita adapter as well. Well, as you can see, it brought it down to 12, which is perfect. So one of the other items on the agenda is to deal with the plug assembly that the previous owner wired up. I'm going to keep them, I think, for now. It's easy, quick disconnect right now, but a more permanent solution, just wire it all together, and the plug kill switch that he also wired in would really be taken out when I can just take out the battery and disconnect it completely. So a little bit of work on that to rewire, but let's work on this and make it work with the plugs that are currently on the setup and see if I can get the Power Wheels to move forward and back. So I just put some larger terminals onto that plug end, and now I'm gonna wire up same size terminals into that regulator, and then wire up the regulator to the power supply, basically the battery, and then we can go plug it into the Power Wheels and see what she does. So on the power side of the regulator, I decided to go with a quick disconnect spade terminal so that I can swap out this adapter for my Milwaukee and potentially put it on for my Makita batteries as well. The other type of terminal that I used for that bolted connection was a ring terminal, which I will probably eventually get rid of, but for now is perfectly fine, and it connects it up to that pigtail without having to use a splice, which I don't have a butt splice big enough for those wires, and those wires don't need to be that big for the 12 volts that we're running anyway. So if you have issues with your quick disconnect spade terminals, just use a flathead screwdriver and widen those up a little bit so they slide in a little easier like I'm doing here. So now that I have the regulator wired up to the battery and the plug wired up to the regulator, just want to do another sanity check and make sure we're still doing the 12 volts before we go put it in the Power Wheels. So again, 18 volt battery shows 18 volts, runs through the regulator, and there it shows 12 volts. So let's check out under the hood and see what she's running. So there's the assembly in all its glory. I am just clicking together the plug that the previous owner already wired up. You can also see that disconnect switch that he put on there. I'm probably going to take all that stuff off because it's really not necessary. He put that on there so that any idle draw while it's not being used doesn't drain the battery. Well, just like that, it nestles down under the hood just as neat as can be with that mess of wires in there. Turn on the switch, close the hood, and let's go press the gas pedal after we find a gear here and see if she moves. Oh yeah, baby, we got her to run. 2 gears forward, 1 reverse. Oh yeah. Thanks again for watching another episode of Shuffle Does. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. If you liked what you saw, hit the like button. Either way, have a fantastic day.